Welcome to Same But Different. That's all I got.
That's a good one.
Did everybody watch the Oscars? We sure did, and we're excited to talk about this movie today. It is called The Zone of Interest, which was an Oscar contender, and it won for Best Sound Design.
Didn't it win dos Oscaritos? Oh, well, it won for Best International Film. We knew that.
Whatever. It also won for Best Foreign Film. Let's get into our review. I'm excited, Brody, to hear what you thought about this.
It was a tough time.
That you had.
It chilled me to my bone. It's haunting and it's uncomfortable. And it's beautifully made, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Very intriguing way to tell a story we've all heard about, read about, or seen for decades now. Unfortunately, that's kind of where the magic of this movie ends, though.
Ooh, I thought you were going to gas it up.
You are a fucking moron.
Very poor choice of words.
I don't think this movie was for everybody. I'm just part of a population who it wasn't necessarily for, I guess. I don't know. It did a fantastic job of letting you know you can feel horror without seeing horror. Really, really cool. I found once it got the point it was trying to make across, once it told us what the message of the movie was, I was kind of just ready. That's it. That the rest of the movie, I was just ready for it to be over. It's like the juxtaposition of the Holocaust happening while this family is trying to just build their dream home. Like, that's really eerie and that's really fascinating, but that's all this movie had. There were some amazing scenes, like the jawbone in the river, washing his wing-a-ling ding-dong so his wife didn't know he was cheating. Like, there were some really poignant parts of this movie, but I feel like it just really overextended itself into being like a day in the life kind of movie, and that's really unfortunate for a movie that really, it's an hour and 40 minutes. It's not that long. Honestly, there's no layers to the characters.
Layers!
There's no one you're really rooting for, and there's nothing to connect to, and that's the point. I know that that's the point of the movie, but that's not what I look for in a movie. And that's why I said, like, this movie deserved the praise that it got. I know that I'm just in population of people who I did not get it, but I just didn't get it, I guess. It was weird because usually I feel very opposite to this point that I'm about to make. I wish I went into this movie knowing more. If I knew what I was to expect watching this movie, I could have enjoyed what I was watching more. But because I had no idea, I just kept waiting for the plot to develop or some conflict to arise, and nope. I don't like a movie that doesn't, it just, here's a family that the movie's over, good job, you got to hang out with them for 2 hours. Like, that's just not really my cup of tea, and some people love it. It would have been a really, really powerful short film if they just kept some of those really core important moments. The fact that there was no real overarching plot, I don't think would have mattered very much, but because this was a movie, a feature, I felt it. Clearly a very well thought out and intelligent movie. The performances were good, but they were small because it was just so natural. One of the most powerful scenes was when the grandma came to visit, and she was just like sunbathing outside, and she reacted to it because none of the main family reacts to this. Like, she reacted to the smell of, Auschwitz being next door and had to go inside. Like, that was really cool. Ultimately, I think it overstayed its welcome. That's the best way I could put it. It should have been a short film, but it showed you something fascinating and original. I gave it right down the middle of the road. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought you were going to give it a little bit more than that. But
I had a 6 written down, and I just changed my mind speaking about it. And it feels weird for an Oscar movie, but
in regards to this film, I'm very confused as to why it was nominated for Best Picture.
You're confused. I'm fucking confused, bro.
I think it deserved sound. It deserved Best Sound.
100%.
Holy crap. But I can't give a movie a good rating for the sound design alone.
They very eerily and sparingly drew attention to the fact that there was a concentration camp next door with sounds. Sometimes people reacted to it, which was scary, and then sometimes they wouldn't react to it, which is even scarier.
Yeah.
I would have loved to be able to hear this in a 5.1 surround sound.
That's why I said it chilled me to my bone, though, because
some of the shots in this and the sequences that they threw in there, you mentioned the jawbone in the river. Further to that, the ash flowing through the river, and then they have to get out and wash their bodies off. Workers coming home and having to wash his boots, and there's just blood coming off the boots. There were were so many specific, overly powerful moments. Absolutely incredible. And you're right, if they were just kind of stacked on top of each other into a short film, this was almost like an art installation. Like, come on in, sit down, watch this little tiny experience, and then go about your merry way and just learn more about what Auschwitz was and that time period and things like that. It didn't need to be a feature length. I like when a movie can make me feel unsettled, and this definitely executed that very well. The bad category, it was boring.
Yeah.
It was very boring. For an hour and 40 minutes, it felt like it was 3 hours, and it was just so drawn out. Scenes were drawn out way too long, even with cool sound designs in there. We got the point after a certain time, and then they just kept going.
The worst and best part is the very beginning, like it just being a black screen for like 4 minutes or whatever.
It was an art house film. I'm curious to understand or find out, if I care to look into it, why they chose to play all that music at the beginning. And then again, halfway through the movie with the red screen, like it goes red. Was it the music that they played for people as they like brought them into the camps or something like that? I don't know. Maybe there was a hidden meaning behind it, but it wasn't for me. My biggest issue, why do I care about these people?
Right?
It's a Nazi family, and I understand the perspective you're trying to tell the story through, but I don't care because these are evil people, and I know that. So why am I watching them? Why do I root for them? Why do I care about getting to the end and finding out what happens to their family? Oh, you're being transferred and you're going to lose your house? Oh, poor you.
Right?
Like, why? I don't care.
Like, it's almost like it was a satire, but satire needs a layer of comedy to it, and there... What?
You do.
The message and the perspective was the main character of this movie. Most of the movie was composed of wide shots or extreme wide shots. Now, that lent itself to having some really nice shots. Really nice, composed, aesthetically pleasing shots. And the cinematographer did a wonderful job. However, it also did not allow me to properly experience these actors' performances.
Right.
I couldn't see their faces up close to see what kind of emotion they were portraying. Couldn't see their lips move. They're so far away. It was like I was watching a stage production from like the balcony. So I was completely disengaged and disenchanted with all the acting that was going on. There's a lot of this that felt like art for art's sake sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I gave this, it barely made the cut. It's a 4.5 out of 10 for me.
Whoa.
I didn't enjoy my time by the end of it. The credits rolled and I was like, no, I didn't like that at all.
No, thank you.
Sorry, Oscars. I disagree. Did you guys watch The Zone of Interest? If you did, what did you think about it? Please give us your arguments for why it's amazing and try to convince us otherwise.
Peak our zones of interest.
Yes, please. As for next week, we're going to come back and we're going to review another Oscar contender. Ooh, also starring Sandra Hüller. And that is Anatomy of a Fall. It just won Best Screenplay.
And those ones I normally like.
Come on back next Monday. We'll review that.
That's it, you bimbos.
That's the end of the episode. What are you still doing here?
Go home.
Oh, if you're still here, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join our ever-growing community and family of movie lovers and cinephiles, because this is what we love to do, and everybody's welcome here. So keep watching movies.
Hooray!
I'm extremely confused.